Good morning, YouTube. Lofty's here. Look up in the sky. A brief interlude in the weather. Anyway, I'll get my helmet on and we'll have a chat. It's the first time this year. If you're interested in having a little bit of a vloggage with Lofty, you stick around. I'll see you in a minute. There she is, the old NT1100. Typical, isn't it? I've come out for a ride just to talk to you for the first time this year. It's February the 8th, Sunday, February the 8th. I've given the bike a good clean, left it outside while I put the cameras on, and we've had a bit of a shower. Anyway, let's have a chat. So here we are. As I said, just Sunday the 8th of February. What a month. I don't know what it's like where you are, but down here in Cornwall it has rained on 42 consecutive days. Ever since Christmas it's rained and rained and rained. Anyway, I've got a bit of a brief interlude, so I thought I'd come out and have a chat with you. Okay, so first things first, I'm out on the NT, as you've just seen. I hadn't been riding it, I'd been out on the Himalayan. But I had a bit of a problem this year. I've been out, I've been riding a lot. I've been mixing bikes, Himalayan and this. Anyway, I put the Himalayan up in the shed because I wanted to put some heated grips on and various things. I bought them Tech Thunderbox things. And I've got that ready to fit. So I started riding the NT again. Right, had some loads of fun. Anyway, the one day I've got out for a ride, had a cracking ride. All down Land's End and everywhere. Horrible wet day, of course. I got back to Chivy Cross, to Starbucks, and I could smell horrible hot fluid. I looked down at the bike and all down the exhaust was green. I thought, oh shit, I've oiled the radiator. Well, I've got a rad guard on, so I said to the lads, see you after, I'm going home, see if I can get something sorted out about this bike. Anyway, so I've rode it home and it didn't overheat. So I've rung up Damrolls and I said, I've got a bit of a problem, I think I've got a leak in my radiator. They said, bring it up, we'll sort it out. So I thought, I'll chance it. It's about 32 mile up to Damrolls, I'll ride the bike. So I've got on the bike and I've rode it all the way to Damrolls. Never overheated. Anyway, I've got there and the big lad, one of the mechanics, took it around the back, got it on the thing. He said, oh, you've got a pinhole. It's only a pinhole, it's hardly leaking at all, but it's enough to make a mess. He said, it's your rad guard. I said, what do you mean, the rad guard? He says, well, we've had this with a few bikes. They put the rad guards on and the rad guards fit so close to the meshing, especially with a bike like this that vibrates quite a bit. The rad guard goes up and down, up and down, up and down and rubs, and eventually it can rub a hole if it's actually touching where the mesh is. Anyway, it was right on the bottom offside corner, little tiny pinhole. Said, oh dear, what are we going to do now? He said, you better have a word with Luke Damrell, that's Steve's son, lovely kid. Anyway, Luke says, oh dear, that's going to be expensive. I said, well, the bike ain't worth a lot now, it's got 34,000 miles on the clock. He said, hang on, let's have a price check. So we got the VIN number and did a price check. So it was 850 quid plus fitting. Probably be some VAT and all in that for the genuine Honda. He said, let's have a look on eBay. Anyway, my old pal Tim Collins was there. He said, get a Chinese one, Lofty. He said, don't worry about it. He said, I had one, I did 50,000 miles on my pan with a Chinese one. He says, that, and they're bound to be better now than they used to be, so get one. Anyway, he's found one, 160 quid. So there we go. I've left the bike with Damrolls, and the missus has picked me up and took me home, which was great. I didn't want to lend the bike because off to Cape Verde for some winter sunshine. So I've got to Cape Verde and I've come back and I'm thinking, how much is this going to cost? Anyway, I think it was 170 quid the rad and some fitting and whatever. It was 400 odd quid. I thought, Jesus. So the last big service I had was nearly, it was about £1,000 and 400 quid again. I thought, bloody hell, this is getting expensive. And then I rode it home, and it was half a decent day. It weren't as nice as this, but it was dry. So I rode it home, and I thought, well, I might as well ride that for a few weeks and just test it out to see how the rad is, to see if it hold up under pressure. I've done about 1,000 miles. Out in the rain every day, soaking wet. Anyway, so I'm happy. The rad's okay, so I thought, I'll get the bike a good clean, and now I'll go and swap them over. So what I'm doing now is I'm just nipping up to swap the bikes over. So I'll see you in a minute, and I'll be on the Enfield. Okay, and YouTube, Lofty's back. Here we go, different bike. I'm back on the Himi. As I said, I did take this off the road because I wanted to do some work on it. I've got one of those Eeltech Thunderboxes. I wanted to put some heated grips on and connect other bits and pieces. I'll put the Aoocci on as well. You can still get them Aooccis on the deal if you put in TLB 22, you get a bit of a deduction. It's not bad at all. Anyway, I've not put it on. I've got this little device here to fit it to. That come, I think it was from China or somewhere. It weren't very expensive. But let's carry on with the story. So, like I say, after having the whole Radiator, I was out riding just before that. I'm not sure I've told you this, but I used a lot of koi stuff. Heated vest, heated gloves. Anyway, I've had these heated gloves for quite a while. I'm out riding, and my fingertip started getting hot. Thought nothing of it, turned them down a bit. Anyway, I've gone out for another ride, and it got worse and worse and worse. Anyway, I've got back from the rides, and I've took them off, and there's a little pinhole in the end where it's burnt through. Obviously, one of the wires or one of the pads in the inside the glove had failed. Anyway, I thought, let's have a look at the warranty. So I'd had them a few years, and it said 10 years on the warranty for the heating elements. I thought, well, it's definitely not the gloves that are giving way, it's the heating elements. So I got in touch with Cornish. They didn't want to know. I thought you'd got a 10-year. They said, no, it's nothing to do with us. You've got to get in touch with a person you bought them off. Oh, okay. So I sent a message to the sports bike shop, because I had them from the sports bike shop, because it's next day delivering. That, to be fair, if it's stuff that Ben doesn't stock at Motorcycle Essentials, I'll buy it off sports bike shop, because, like I say, the delivery's amazing. So I got in touch with them. And I took a few photos, and they said, okay, we'll sort it out, don't worry. They sent me a returns label, and they said, send us the gloves and we'll sort it out. I thought, brilliant. See how we get on. I thought, now I've got a problem. Most of my other gloves are either summer gloves or leaky gloves. So I thought, I need some bloody gloves. I've got no decent gloves. And I was reading Ride magazine, Ride recommended, and I was doing budget waterproof gloves. I think it was like sub 120 quid. I thought, I'll read this and I'll get myself a pair of gloves. Anyway, so I've gone down. And what's come out top? The cheapest set of gloves they're reviewing. It was an Oxford Omega 1 2DTO or something like that. And they come out as 100% waterproof. The only set of gloves, there's 6, I think, gloves in the test. The only set of gloves that come out waterproof. So I've got them on. I ordered these gloves. Now, when I was riding the Himi with no heated grips and just the gloves, a few days when it was like 5, 6 degrees, my hands was a bit chilly. So they're not exactly the warmest glove, but I ain't joking. I've ridden about 20 times in the last month. Deluge, heavy rain, proper rain. and they've not leaked once. So I've got to say, for $59.99 delivered, there they are, Oxfords. They're amazing, absolutely amazing. Okay, when I'm on the other bike, the NT with the heated grips, it's no problem at all. My hands keep nice and warm. But I haven't had a chance to put the grips on this because we've been that busy, and I've been doing some renovations at home. So I haven't put the grips on, I haven't put the Aoocci on, and I've done my test on the NT, and I'm more than happy. And this time of year, to be fair, on these, what shall I say, crappy Cornish roads, where we call them Cornish dual carriageways, plenty of grass up the middle, plenty of potholes. This Himi is perfect. The 21-inch rim just rolls over the bumps and the lumps, and I find it comfortable. I really do find it comfortable. So there you go. So there we are. It's a new year, like I say, February the 8th. It's been just over 12 months since I broke my ankle. Yeah, the lofty biker fell off a scooter and broke his ankle. Had to have it all pinned and plated. Not very nice, not very pleasant. I don't have any problems with the ankle, but it's 100%. It's funny, it feels like I've got a sock on all the time. I don't know if that sounds daft. If you've ever broke an ankle, you'll probably understand what I mean. But I don't know. But there's something in the air, isn't there? This February air. There's a load of YouTubers in hospital. I couldn't believe it. Was it English Biker Dan had a fall off? Lamb Chops had a big off over in Cyprus. He ended up in hospital for about 3 or 4 weeks. Hopefully he's coming home this week. Mizzen and Flyer's out of action because he's had a major shoulder operation. And poor old Andy Mancam, I do like Andy Mancam, he's a cracking chap. He moved out to Mallorca. I think he found out that when you live on a small island, you soon get fed up with the roads. It's a bit like living in Cornwall. You can soon get fed up with the roads because there's not that many of them. Anyway, old Andy Mancam, he caught the ferry to go off-roading on his Touareg, his Aprilia, on the mainland, and he had a write-off. I mean, a big off. I think he broke his leg or something daft. So he's in hospital as well. So there's another one. Crazy Legs. Oh, Crazy Legs up the north. He's got something wrong with his leg. He's had to have a major operation. So all these YouTubers out of action, but they ain't missing nothing, are they? Because the roads are minging. It's rained every day. So if you're on YouTube or you're following people on YouTube and you've noticed there's not much content about, you'll probably find that quite a few of them are in and out of hospital because they've either broke something or fell off a bike or done something. And the rest of us, we're going out riding, but it's so wet, you daren't put the cameras on. Because I've already got cameras broken or waterlogged or whatever because of the bad weather. As it happens, at the moment, I'm using this DJI 5 with the little mini mic in my helmet, so I've got the camera all wrapped up and it's sealed solid, so it should be okay. But I thought I've got to come out and make a bit of content. I've got to come out and speak to you. I've not spoken to you since before Christmas, so whether I wished you Happy Christmas or not, Happy Christmas, and whether I wished you Merry New Year and all that nonsense. So Lofty's back out on his bike, and I'm on what we call the Porthleven Road. Hale to Porthleven, cracking bit of road. Bit slick in places, but it's so nice to just stick the cameras on, stick the helmet on, and talk complete nonsense to you. I hope you've missed me talking nonsense. Not many bikes to ride, as you know. I do class myself really as more of a reviewer than a vlogger. I've got one to ride. I've been waiting nearly 2 weeks to have a decent day where the weather was all right. I've got the Hunk. Hero Motorcycles. Now remember that name, they are huge. They are absolutely huge, Hero Motorcycles. Anyway, they're testing out the UK market with a model called the 440 UNC, single cylinder. So as soon as I get a dry day with some dry roads, I'm going to go up to Damrells because they've become part of the franchise for Hero, and I'll get it out on the road and I'll ride it for you. As you know, it'll be a good comparison alongside the Hemi. There's loads of these little bikes coming out. Have you seen the new Triumph? The 400 Scrambler, the taller one. I don't think it's much different to the old ones. It's just that it looks a little bit more purposeful. So, oh, by the way, McPherson's, I went, as you know, I probably told you I went to McPherson's. They've got Royal Enfield in now, along with Aprilia, MV Agusta and Motor Guzzi and whatever. So hopefully, when we get some half-decent weather, I shall have a ride up to Plymouth. I'll pop into Ocean Triumph, which is a new dealership we've got up there, and I'll get my hands on a few Triumphs. I'd like to ride some of them little Triumphs, and hopefully get my hands on a Motor Guzzi. I've always wanted to ride that Mandello there and the new Stelvio. As you know, I used to have a Stelvio back in the day, so I'd like to ride that. Anyway, are you enjoying these relatively dry roads? I certainly am. What fun's this? Anyway, if you've enjoyed it, my subscribers haven't gone up much. As I say, I ain't been putting much out. Everybody seems to have come up with the same opinion, that YouTube have altered the algorithms and it's making it more and more difficult to increase your subscriber count. Oh, Bingley Wheeler's up north, cracking chap Dave, he's convinced something's going on behind the scenes with these computers. And Teapot One has said exactly the same thing. It's, you get to sort of like a level and it don't increase. I don't know what it is. I'm not sure. I really don't know. But I think I've only had 50 new subscribers this month, which is quite low. I normally get about 100 a month. When I've got some really good content, some good new bikes, I might get 150 or 200 a month. So it takes a long time to build a channel up, as you know. Or anybody who's attempted to build a channel up, it takes a while. But I'm not exactly 100% certain there's any truth in it. But hopefully you'll enjoy this video and you'll hit the subscribe. So click on that little like, subscribe, ring the bell. It's got to help the algorithm. The more people who ring the bell or make comments, the more my content will be put out on the homepage. Anyway, it looks like we might get another shower shortly, so I'm going to say this is the Lofty Biker saying ta-da for now. Ta-da.